Welcome to our webinar, Learn How to Greatly Increase Workforce Efficiency with the Next Generation of Wearable Scanning Solutions. I'm Ken Feinstein, Vice President of Midcom Data Technologies. For over 35 years, Midcom has been a leader in barcode printing and barcode scanning solutions. I'm very excited to introduce our guest from ProGlove, who will go over the next generation of wearable barcode technology. With us today, we have Mark Homolka, Business Development Manager at ProGlove. We invite everyone to participate by asking questions as you think of them. We will have some time at the end to answer them. And now it's my pleasure to pass this over to Mark.
Thanks, Ken. My name is Mark Homolka. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Hopefully everybody can see the webinar at this point. My name is Mark Homolka. I'm the Business Development for ProGlove. Today we'll be discussing ProGlove wearable scanners and the next generation of wearable scanners and the benefits this brings to manufacturing and distribution environments. I'm joining you from ProGlove. We're a German-based company with a North American headquarters in Chicago. The founders of ProGlove came from BMW and IKEA. They wanted to tackle some of the process inefficiencies they saw in the auto industry. So they set out to design and engineer a wearable scanner that's designed for the human worker. ProGlove carries 22 patents today, protecting our intellectual technology. All of our devices and technology are manufactured in Germany with a strong focus on quality. With that, we've seen 100% year-over-year growth over the last 2 years as we continue to scale our business up and take on new marketplaces. I'm going to go through 4 different case studies regarding that are typical of the types of environments that we work in manufacturing and distribution. It'll include warehouse picking, packaging, pre-assembly, and inbound logistics. The first case study I'd like to go through was with IKEA. We all recognize the furniture and home goods store that IKEA is. They are using our technology in their e-commerce and in their retail sales space for picking of orders. IKEA has a high number of SKUs with every one of their orders with odd-shaped boxes. And so that typically causes, a lot of handling of the goods themselves. With the ProGlove technology, they were able to receive a 50% reduction in scan time per order, and 100% of their workers acknowledge the benefit of our wearable scanner technology. Here you'll actually see the IKEA worker using and scanning the box itself. You'll notice that the scanner is on their wrist. You can see the orange scanner. That's our trademark color. You'll notice also that the pick process is non-obtrusive. The scanner doesn't interfere. Their hands are free. They have no need to put down or pick up the typical pistol grip scanner, and they can easily read the barcodes from a distance. The next case study I'll talk about is with Bosch Thermal Technology. Bosch Thermal Technology is the division that focuses on indoor climate, water heating, and industrial energy. In the use case for Bosch, they're using it with a manipulator, and they're preparing also goods for shipment. The benefits for Bosch have been in the form of worker mobility. They have full functionality of their hands. There's no fixed scanner that they're tethered to, so they have no hindrance of movement at all. And once again, we see a high degree of increase in productivity from using our technology. Here is the Bosch user using it in their production. They're using the manipulator. You'll notice the orange scanner on the back of their hand and how it doesn't interfere with the work that they do. The hands-free enables them to do their job quicker and faster. The next use case I'll talk about is Ford they're using our device in their pre-assembly areas for the assembly of cockpit modules and also for air conditioner parts. In terms of, this is pretty much the typical use case you'd see in auto production, where there's high traceability of assembly as it relates to quality throughout the production process. You'll notice that the user's hands are free. The worker can scan a part and track production without impacting the production line. The benefit for it came in the form of improved documentation around quality, improved productivity. We were able to track an ROI savings to the individual unit of being produced, and improved quality control without the rework of any kind that ultimately hurt productivity of the entire plant. And in the case of Ford, they're using our device on the back of their wrist, hands-free, enable them to do their specific production tasks. Use case, in the case of DHL, we were using it in their bulky goods area. This is an area that handles odd size and bulky items. They wanted the ability to do their work faster because of the amount of cartons they were handling for all of their various shipments. The use case itself combines a ProGlove scanner, a printer, and a DHL app that's centered around this particular process. The benefits for DHL include improved time around productivity, reduced steps in the operation, and improved handling time for customer shipments. They had full dexterity of their hands, allowing them to do their work freely. They reduced the amount of walking time with the elimination of the need to be tethered to a fixed station or tugger, and there was no need to put the scanner down. Here's the DHL worker actually using the ProGlove device. It's on their right wrist, and they're handling, in this case, a bulky item, which is a TV, and they are absolutely free to scan whatever they need as part of their specific production task. Here's an overview of what we call the MARC system. This is everything that you would need to build the solution. You start with the scanners, which weigh 1.4 ounces, so they're extremely lightweight. Most users don't even know that they're there. The scan engine and the battery pack are enclosed in molded plastic, and the battery itself is designed to last a full shift. I'll dive into this more detail on the scanners here in the next few slides. In terms of the wearables, we've got 3 offerings right now: a standard glove, an index trigger, and a reel. Again, I'll go through those in a little bit more detail here in a second. Then how we actually connect to either an access point or another mobile device through Bluetooth low energy. That is kind of the connectivity. Lastly, you've got the charging mechanisms. We've got a 2-bay charger shown here, but there also is a 10-bay charger if you're doing any kind of centralized scanning in your operation. This is the scanner range that we offer, starting with the MARC Basic. That's our entry-level scanner. As the name implies, it's a basic scanner. It can scan up to a 5-foot range, approximately 3,000 scans per charge. It is a Bluetooth device only. The Mark II devices come in both standard and mid-range. The Mark II standard range is from 6 inches to 3 feet. The mid-range goes up to 5 feet. Both use crosshairs for aiming. The types of barcoding they read are fairly generic across the industry. And then you'll see battery life as also being a factor, starting with the Mark Basic at 3,000 scans, up to the Mark mid-range, which does up to 6,000 scans. The Mark Display is our latest offering. that was announced at MODEX. It's a mid-range scanner solution that can handle up to 6,000 to 8,000 scans. The display itself is it's a two-line display that would give you the ability to see the scan itself, but also potentially with integration, the next scan location. There's 3 product offerings from when it comes to what we'll call consumables of the gloves themselves. The gloves are designed to last replace about 4 times per year. You've got the standard glove, which is typically used in assembly applications. This was the original glove consumable that ProGlove came out with. The index trigger is the second and probably the most common. This device can be used, or consumable can be used over latex gloves, which is common today, given everything that's going on with COVID. And you basically invoke the scanner by taking your thumb and pressing to your index finger. The reel is a low volume scanning option, common in healthcare and with supervisors who don't need to do the quantity of scanning that a production worker would. Now I'll talk a little bit about connectivity and how we interact with your environment. The access point is on the left-hand side. You basically scan a QR code and you pair to the scanner. You've got about 150-foot radius. No software is required. It connects via USB or RS-232 to a fixed station, and then that is our connection point through a data wedge into your backend systems. The other option would be to pair it to a device. We've got a ProGlove Connect app that simply allows you to scan with the wearable. The scan to pair icon on the front, you're able to scan it and you're paired. The only limitation that you have is it has to be Bluetooth Low Energy, which is Bluetooth 4.0 or higher. It can connect to any kind of smartphone or tablet, whatever that might be in your specific environment. Now we'll talk a little bit broadly about use cases and how we operate. You've got a static environment, which would be fixed position. Typically, a lot of times these are manufacturing use cases where you may have had an existing scanner that you're using. And in this case, you would have an access point connected through RS-232 or USB. In the semi-static environment, you would be connecting either through Bluetooth or through USB or RS-232. So you've got a little bit more freedom of movement, or you need a little bit more freedom of movement, and you need to be able to move around, and you're limited to the range in which you can connect to that access point. And then lastly, you've got your true mobile environment, which uses a Bluetooth connection to a mobile device of some type, whether it be a tablet, a phone, whatever those particular device that you had in your environment that end users are using or could be using. Finally, I'll kind of wrap up with what we like to call the smart decision factors. When we engineered the product, it was all about the human factor. How can we help in specific areas of the worker, whether it be in ergonomics as it relates to how much they're having to lift on a per shift basis. The fact that our device makes them 100% hands-free. We see a lot of benefits when it comes to quality, up to 33% less errors, thanks to the intuitive feedback of the device. The device can talk to you in terms of, gives you haptic visual confirmation that the scan has occurred. Reducing scan time by 50% is what we see that leads to the increases in productivity. And then the big thing is the ROI. We are typically seeing an ROI of less than 30 days with our technology tied to the productivity gains that customers have. We can bring together a total cost of ownership, wrapping service around the devices themselves, and replace a lot of damaged scanners that are typically dropped because the devices are actually, on the back of your hand. I suggest as a potential next state, working in conjunction with Midcom, we have an ROI calculator that we can take, that we've had all the environments that we're operating in, and we're able to pull out data and demonstrate to you how fast of an ROI we can get to with our technology, which on track has been on average of 30 days or less. I'll now open it up to any specific questions and turn it over to Ken.
Yeah, so some questions are popping in here. Here's a question I see. Is the scanner waterproof? Can ProGlove be used outside in the rain?
Yeah, our device carries an IP54 rating. It can get wet with light amount of rain in an outdoor use case. So there is the ability to get it wet. It isn't as waterproof as maybe some of the other devices that might be out on the marketplace.
All right, this one's sort of topical. Due to the current coronavirus situation, can the gloves be washed, and how do you sanitize the scanner?
I mean, the scanner can be sanitized with wipes of any type with any kind of disinfectant that you would want to use. Kind of the best use case scenario that we're seeing with customers today is because you've got the consumable, you can assign one glove to every one of your warehouse workers, of every one of your associates. Thereby, they're the ones that are using that specific glove. A lot of customers are also using latex gloves underneath it because it doesn't hinder their ability to scan in any way. And that's kind of then the other use case that and way that we've tackled this. But you absolutely can wipe them down. They are not necessarily machine washable at this point.
Okay, here's another one that came in. Can it be directly integrated with ERP or WMS?
The device has the ability to connect and integrate through a keyboard wedge. So basically anything that you're doing with a scanner, because you've got integration with an app on the phone of some type that ties back into those ERP and WMS solutions. So we would have to discuss exactly how you guys want it to integrate. We've got a technical team that would work in conjunction with Midcom to ensure that the integration as part of discovery on how you're going to use the device, that we can do what you need.
Okay, here's another one that came in. Can I use my existing Wi-Fi, or do I have to use the scanner Wi-Fi?
You would leverage the Wi-Fi that's in your building. We would connect through the phone or through the the two types of connectivity. Through the phone, we would connect through we would leverage your Wi-Fi, and then if it was a fixed station, that access point would allow us to connect to your Wi-Fi and get into those back-end systems that you guys need the data to go into.
Okay, got time for a couple more here. Can the scanner work with the Apple iOS?
We are still in the process of working through development with iOS. We do have an iOS app that was released. We still are working on specific integration with iOS. We can definitely talk about it on a one-off basis and describe to you in more detail as to how we can integrate and leverage Apple technology.
Okay. This is more of a functionality question. How does the user know their scanner is registered with the paired device?
There is sound and haptic feedback that comes once it's paired. It's basically you take the scanner in your hand, invoke the scanner to the connecting point on the app, and they get immediate feedback that they know the device has been connected.
All right. How are firmware updates handled? And I think this might be similar to the other question. Can these be managed through a MDM?
We are working with SOTI right now. I don't know if that is the MDM of choice for a specific organization, but we definitely have integration with MDM, SOTI being one of them that we're working with today, that would allow you to manage the devices for firmware updates and other things that you may need to do to manage the device itself.
Okay, this one came in. Does this work with Android tablets with Bluetooth 5?
Yes, our device will pair with anything that's BLE. So basically 4.0 or higher, it would be compatible with any existing Android device in your current fleet.
Okay, I got time for a couple more, I think. Let's see, can the batteries be swapped out?
The battery is not hot swappable or cannot be swapped. What customers end up doing is they end up ordering let's say a 5 or 10% additional devices to use as spares. When the battery gets to a low point, they merely go and swap out the entire scanner, repair it back to the device itself, and go back to scanning. The charge time on the device is approximately 2 hours. So you should be able to, because the batteries are typically lasting for a full shift, there shouldn't be issues. Typically in those scanning areas where you would have all of the devices, you would have the ability to have banks of them being scanned at any given time.
Okay. I'm not sure if you'll be able to answer this one. How aggressive is the scan engine as compared to an MC9090? I'm not sure how to answer that one, but I'll throw that at you.
We are using a best-in-class scan engine on our device. Having been in the industry for a while, I think the device itself, the scanning technology itself, is as aggressive as any scanner that I've seen. We can do up to 6 foot with our mid-range device, and we've even tweaked it out even further with a little bit manipulation of the size of the scan itself to 10 feet and beyond, even though it's not rated that officially rated that high. We'll work with you to make the device work in your environment. I think what you'll find is that it is industry leading in terms of its ability to scan any types of barcode situations.
Okay, I think we have time. Almost one more question before we run out of time here. What's the warranty on this device?
The device itself comes with a 1-year warranty out of the box. We do offer a additional warranty through what we call ProGlove Care. All of our devices are serviced in the U.S. We've got all of them come back and forth on a depot type basis through Chicago. So you should be well served when it comes to how we after the purchase, how our devices are maintained and warranted.
Great. That's all the time we have for questions. I'd like to thank you for all the important information you shared with us to help businesses increase productivity with the newest and next generation of wearable barcode scanners. Now, for a limited time, Midcom is offering a Try It Before You Buy It program where you can try the products risk-free. If anyone's interested, please contact me directly at 800-643-2664, or you can email me at kfeinstein@midcomdata.com. It should be on the screen in front of you. If you have additional questions we didn't address or like more information about the product line, please feel free to contact me. I'd like to thank Mark at ProGlove again for helping us with this webinar, and this will conclude the webinar. Thanks.
Thank you.